people, welcome to another edition of that thing it's happening frenzy that we all know and love. It's WWE SuperCard with me, Big Jim, here at BadLadDad HQ. There's a couple of things I want to talk about today. First thing is going to be something to do with Facebook Live. Now I'll come on to that shortly. The second thing is King of the Ring. It's a source of frustration for a lot of people, and the game engine's still not quite right, and I'll have a good example of that in a second. Anyway, let's start with Facebook. Now, some of you may be aware that I actually write about WWE for Yahoo Sport here in the UK. Now, one thing they've asked me to consider doing, instead of previewing the pay-per-views with my usual 3,000 words of nonsense that you have to plough through, it takes you like 4 days to read it, would I consider doing a live preview on their Facebook page, and then obviously people can come on and ask questions while I'm talking about the bouts. Now, obviously the only people I can really ask about this, it's no good just asking me, it's asking you guys. Is that something you would look at? For those of you who've got a Facebook account and a Facebook page, we've obviously got our BadLadDad page, but what it will be is you will come onto Facebook on the Yahoo Sport UK page at a given time, which I will obviously publicise, and I will start doing my preview, but actually as a verbal preview, rather than writing 200 or 300 words per bout for all the various bouts for the evening. And that gives you a chance to come on and ask some questions and maybe give your own opinions. So I want to know, is that something of interest? Is that something you guys would do? Are you not on Facebook? Do you think it's a waste of time? Would you get involved in something like that, a live video on Facebook? As I say, that would be on the Yahoo Sports UK page. This is serious stuff. This isn't just BadLadDad, Big Jim, Ninja Boy messing around playing WWE games. This is like audience of 1.2 million or something. So your opinions would be appreciated. Let me know in the comments down below whether you think that's something that's worthwhile doing or not, and I will give that feedback back to Yahoo. I mean, my gut feeling is let's give it a go, see what happens. Might get no viewers, might get a few viewers, who knows, I don't know. Let me know what your thoughts are in the comments down below. Now secondly, King of the Ring. My inbox, there's two things I get asked mainly. First thing is, can I join your team? As I've said many times, Team BadLadDad, we've got a loyal crew and there's no spaces. There's no room at the inn. And I know that you've all got various stories as to why you'd like to join and you're in various tiers and everything. But I'm only allowed to run one team, and that one team is BadLadDad. And as I say, we've got a team that's been together now for quite some time. So unless we get the occasional dropout, in which case I will do a video saying there's a space available, it's just not worth asking. But the second thing is King of the Ring and people's frustrations at King of the Ring. Now, part of what I'm about to show you is self-inflicted, so I'll hold my hands up now. If you just have a look at the last King of the Ring I was in, you can see King of the Ring finished, and I got bumped at the semi-final stage, which I know a lot of you saying you can just about get through to the quarterfinals, and then semi-finals is just not happening for you. You're not getting through to the final. Now, I should have got through to the final. Two things happened. The first thing was, I practice what I preach, and I tend to enter these King of the Rings very late at night, so you get fewer humans and more bots. But the problem was, this semi-final started about 3:30 in the morning, and I fell asleep for the first leg. So when it came to the first leg, as you can see, I'd not powered up. So it's debatable. I could, perhaps should have won that one. I wouldn't have won this matchup because I just got a single Seth or was powering up. And as you can see, they've got two event cards. Hitman there's got two event cards paired together. But because I always look at what people have done in previous matches, what I would have done there is I would have put two WrestleMania cards, two WrestleMania Pros in for that tag team match. This is ahead of this first semi-final. And there I would have put in this pairing, which is no good, the AJ Styles and the single Seth Rollins, and written off that bout. But then, as you can see, for the single bouts, he's got a Survivor event John Cena, and then he's got two standard WrestleMania cards. So I would have put a standard WrestleMania Pro next to that John Cena, and then I'll put Nick Knock Nakinu and Nakamura against one of his WrestleMania Pros, and Andre the Giant against the other. So virtually, I'm tying down all of the bouts bar one, that tag team. But obviously I missed my chance there, so I lost that first match. Now the second match, I woke in a panic and realised what had happened. But this is the big frustration for me. this first match, this Divas match, is toughness. Now, I have a support card that gives minus 170 to your opponent in toughness. So that would have been like a double hit for both of his cards there. The game didn't play it. Why didn't the game play it? Explain to me why the game, if you were playing that match as an individual and it was a toughness bout and you've got two compatible divas and you know you've got a minus 170 WrestleMania support card, of course you're going to chuck it in there. So why has it not played it? Because that actually proved to be quite costly. So I lost that bout. You can't do much about that if it chooses the two stats that are more favourable to your opponent. So it can't really help that one. There, as you can see, is my trash can, which coming in for Andre the Giant was a complete waste of time because he was going to win that bout anyway. Divas, always going to be pretty close, but that's the Nikki Bella Survivor Pro that you saw when I got the Nikki and the Brie Survivor cards from the last King of the Ring. That's her now fully pro'd up. And then the final match, of course, it gave me the doubles match, the one that I'd written off. So that's just pot luck. But I would have won that 3-2 had it played the flipping trash can support card right there. So why didn't it? I don't know. I really don't know. It's a constant source of frustration, that. But what can we do? Apart from keep highlighting the fact and hoping that somebody somewhere from Cat Daddy will actually take notice one day. There's not much we can do there. Now, and as for the team event, I actually tweeted about this. The team Road to Glory. There's a bit of a rant this episode, but now and again, it's nice to be funny and humorous and everything, but now and again, we've got to talk straight about these things. The Road to Glory, the team started off okay, and we got to the morning of, for us in the UK, you wake up, you've got most of a day to do it in. Woke up in the morning, we were up to Ric Flair. We're all burnt out. We're all burnt out from the weekend's Road to Glory. We had a bit of a chat amongst ourselves. Now, the top card here, Dusty, WrestleMania Pro, for the 10 of us, not one of us, I should call him a WrestleMania Pro, this is the whole point, not one of us would have got a Pro from the Dusty Rhodes WrestleMania card. Now, I've mentioned this as well on social media before. They issued too many WrestleMania cards at once. Like 5 million of the damn things. What they should have done is issued maybe 12, 15 in a first wave, given it 2 or 3 weeks, give people a chance to get a Pro here or there, then issued another batch, and then perhaps a third batch. And that gives people a chance to get into WrestleMania tier and then try and get a Pro. Now, one of our guys, Matt, he's got 36 single WrestleMania cards. I mean, I'm in the 30s. It's just a nonsense. It's ridiculous. How are you meant to... The pot luck there for some people who've like picked out 4 or 5 pros in the first 10, 12, 15 picks they've had, and other people who've earned themselves through to 3 or 4 times as many WrestleMania cards, and they've maybe got 1 or 2 pros. It's just, that makes a nonsense of the game, because that's down to pure luck. Your lack of pros isn't down to your bad gameplay, it's just down to bad luck, and that shouldn't happen in such great quantities as it is in the game right now. So that's another thing, Cat Daddy. All at once, it's like a massive custard pie in the face. It's too much. You need to calm it down next time. Just think about it before you do it next time. Right, having said all of that, it's PCC weekend, and a couple of nice and interesting cards with Dolph Ziggler and Baron Corbin. What do you think of that clash, that little rivalry going on? I mean, most of it seems to happen when the guys are walking into the ring. And Baron Corbin obviously doing all his snarling and I don't have to please anyone type attitude. But as you can see, he's yellow up arrow, and Dolphy Boy is right blue arrow. And it'd be interesting to see which way people go here. Personally, I would probably go, because I've got so many yellow arrows, most of my stronger WrestleMania cards are yellow arrows, I'd go with Baron Corbin anyway. But it would be interesting to see how people vote. Having said all of that, will I be playing it? No, I won't. It's a 4-day slog again, and it really, these days, when now we've had a new wave of people coming in after the release of WrestleMania, there was a lot of advertising, there's a lot of new players, and I know there's quite a few of you, obviously still on super rare, epic, legendary levels, asking for advice and hints because you're fairly new to the game. Well, for you guys, I would say it's worth doing this because you will get a reward down here somewhere that will help enhance your decks. But for those of us that are on WrestleMania tier, you really need to be aiming for the WrestleMania cards, but you need to be playing for 4 days solid. Now, if you've got a job that takes you away from home, if you've got a family that demands a lot of attention over a weekend, trying to play for 4 days solid, for me, this event now, it's just becoming a non-starter. I mean, I had some of the Survivor event cards when there were fewer players. Now, it's just impossible. It's just not going to happen for me. So, I will be playing just to a small degree, just to power up some cards. It's a useful way of powering up some cards when you've got some time. But I'm not going to be playing in the competition main because, for me, it's just not worth it. Anyway, let's have a look at my deck, see where we are with the old BLD crew. And not too much has changed here, to be honest. There's Andre, there's Nick Knock Nacky Noo. Dean Ambrose is fully powered up, max to the hilt, and was in that Road to Glory we were looking at. Sorry, not Road to Glory. What was it? King of the Ring. King of the Ring. I'll get there in a minute. Can't see now. And Rusev and Neville. And in fact, if we just go back to making it WrestleManias only, then you'll see, as I was saying, there's single Sami Zayn, single Seth, and single Seth at the moment, and single AJ. I don't have the other AJs or Seths. Again, they came from PCCs. It didn't happen for me. The 2 Seths, I've still got to do some work on this boy here. But again, it's a little tip for you. 2 different cards. That's Smiling Seth, Smiley Face Seth. If you have a look, he's ready for action. He's fully maxed out, all matches played. His chicken nuggets are in place. So I know, Smiley Seth, he's ready to go. Grumpy Seth, he still needs work on. And the reason I do that is you can see at a glance which card is which. It makes it very easy to remember. And as I've said before, if these were perhaps some lower tier cards, and sometimes you've got 3 of a card, it's worth putting different images on each one so you don't accidentally combine the wrong 2. I've seen it happen to people. That's very frustrating as well. So it's just a little visual guide. Rather than having the same face and the same image staring at you from 2 or 3 cards, you have to keep opening them up to see which version it is. Anyway, then as you can see, there's Taker, there's Roman, there's Stinger, Triple Her, Bray Wyatt, Y2J, there's the man Xavier Woods, up, down. We have Kalisto, we have Finn Balor, my lord, Finn Balor, Cesaro, Heath Slater. Some people say I look like an old and knackered version of Heath Slater. I can see that. I get where you're coming from with that. He sometimes has his hair done like that as well, doesn't he? Well, not quite as cool as him though, unfortunately. Ryback Akaka, Goldust, my only diva, and she was a ladder reward. That's the only reason I've even got a single WrestleMania diva. And then of course Titus and Tyler Breeze, and then some of the old crew. And then as you can see, my trash can, minus 170 to power, minus 170 to toughness, apparently not good enough for King of the Ring. So that's it. It's a bit of a rant this episode. I'm not really doing any gameplay. I mean, I could go into exhibition mode, but then, well, let's do just a couple of matches, just in case you could be in there. It's nice when you guys get in touch and say, you just played me. I can't believe it. So that's nice when I see that from people. But just have a... Oh, I should have gone into the chat mode as well in that King of the Ring, just to say hello to people. Sorry about that, people. I'm so busy getting on my hobby horse and high horse. There's a bit of a hobby as well, and ranting, that I forgot to do it. So what I'll do now, I don't even need to power these guys up, do I? So power charisma. Come on. Let's just do that. So yeah, I will be doing another late night entry into King of the Ring. I've got to make sure that I perhaps have the knockout stage kicking off at 11 in the evening rather than at 1 in the morning, which is going to catch me out again. It's because I'm pretty much of a night owl that I do these late night ones, and I'm prepared to be playing at all sorts of weird and wonderful hours, but it doesn't always help. It doesn't always help, because if you fall asleep, there's not much you can do. And I'm certainly not going to pay money on the manager that would power up your deck every time. And also, you do tend to find that people who've got through to the latter stages will move their cards around to try and increase their chances of victory. So even if you did have that manager in place and you won the first match, the likelihood is your opponent will jiggle his squad around for the second match, And if you're still in the land of Zeds, snoring away, and you're not there to do anything about it, the likelihood is you're going to lose anyway. Let's just do one more for the road. Old Hammer. Well, that's a West Ham fan. Let's just play Old Hammer, just in case he's a West Ham fan. You never know. Hammer, the Hammers, of course, is being the nickname for the West Ham. Look at Triple H's Twitter feed recently. A lot of nice comments about West Ham, the Hammers. I think they, the Hammer connection there is something that he's been quite happy to play on. So glad to have him on board. Going to have a better endorsement than the big boy himself. Right, that's a good start, isn't it? Diva Charisma. Do you know what? I'm that sort of hacked off with the game in general at the moment. I don't really care about this, to be honest. It's getting to the point where you're going to get tired of a game as it is anyway. Look at that. And you do need a breather now and again. You do need to stop now and again. Just sort of step away from the game and realise what else is going on in life. And there's other games you like to play as well. I mean, bearing in mind there's WWE Immortals, which I do spend a bit of time on because I like to do the online challenges, and to get into the top 5% to get character cards, you've got to put some hours in there. We just started playing Walking Dead, both Ninja Boy and myself, and we're both in the same faction, and we're quite enjoying that as well. I know it's early stages, and early stages of games is always exciting because there's always plenty to do. It's only when you get to the latter stages and all of a sudden you realise they want you to spend hard cash to try and progress. So we're having fun there. There's Clash Royale. Rocket League. We filmed some Rocket League, so there's a couple of Rocket League videos to come from us over the next couple of weeks. And also FIFA 16's back in action. We missed a Sunday, but we were back last Sunday doing a Champions League special, Real Madrid. And we'll be doing a Euro special for this weekend. It's football, not soccer. Football this weekend, European Championships kicking off in France, with England participating, as well as Republic of Ireland, Northern Ireland, and Wales. No Scotland. Scots didn't make it. So yes, I think we're going to do France to kick off with, seeing as they're the hosts. And so lots of fun to be had with other games, rather than just sitting down for 4 days waiting on a network, which is what I'm looking at here, which you can't see on screen right now. It's kicked back. I'll do one more because I'm still ranting. And obviously 4 hours of being antisocial to the rest of the world and just getting involved in a finger tapping frenzy trying to get an event card, which there's no guarantee you will get. There's still people complaining that when the game finishes they're in the top 1700 and expecting a card, and then when the game's had its 10-minute settle down and worked out who's finished where, all of a sudden they've been bumped further down. Why did I pick him? Why didn't I pick an event card? Have you guys, I know all you YouTubers know what it's like when you're trying to play and talk at the same time, but have you ever tried, I should win this one, have you ever tried playing the game? I know a lot of you play it on your own when you're sat tucked away somewhere, but if you try playing the game and pretending you're talking to someone at the same time, it's not an easy thing to do. How the hell did I lose that? What happened there? Do you know what? I'm close to throwing this out the window. Just had enough of this. There we go. That's SuperCard for today. Obviously, I'm not talking about quitting. Obviously, we're going to continue playing, but it's certain times it has to be in moderation. We're not going to be doing, and when I say we, Ninja Boy, a few of you have been asking why he's not been doing the last 2 or 3 events. It's gone on a bit longer than that. He's virtually had enough of the events. He'll participate in the team events, but the individual rounds, he's a busy lad. He's 9 years old. He's got things to do. And he wants to spread his time evenly over lots of things. He hasn't got time to be sat in the corner just doing one game non-stop for 4 days. So that's why you've not seen Ninja Boy giving you updates on his events recently, because unless it's a team event, he's not really been participating. And that net effect has come from all these things that we've spoken about that's happening within the game. Too many events, individual event, team events back to back. The ridiculous nature of some of the King of the Ring choices when it's not using your support cards and you're losing matches that you should win and you would have won had you had individual control of it. You know, these things add up and the frustrations build, and I know there's a lot of you, judging by Twitter and the comments on our YouTube pages, who feel the same. So Let me know your thoughts down below. Please, please, please comment. Thanks ever so much for watching. Do subscribe, bung us a like. Don't forget we're on Twitter, and I do need to know about the Facebook videos that I mentioned to you. Do you want to see live on Yahoo Sport UK Big Jim talking about WWE? You can come along and join in too. I need to know, because I need to tell the bigwigs at Yahoo what's going on. Until I see you again, stay cool.